Okay, let's go back to that part. That's pretty cool. Let's just do that part. And one thing that's really good that you want to do is you don't want that clip. So add a fade in. I have mine preset to do. If you go into general, go into audio. Dang it, where is it? I always forget these. It's not recording. Editing. Okay. So you want to go into pointer tool and tracks provide fade tool click zones. So if you don't do that, so if you turn that off, you see how now it won't let you add in the fade tool. So check that. And then now you can be like, okay. And a fun little tip, if you right click, then you can slow it down. Like Command Z that out. So now let's hear what just that little motif sounds like. Ooh. And what's cool is that when you're looking at building the track, everything is about tension. Ask a question, what's the answer? A bump, a bump, bump. So let's do this right here. Bump. Oh, I just realized that I did not have this screen on. So let me show you something. So once again, if you go into Logic, you go into settings, you go into general, then to get that fade tool, like what I just did, like this right here, like you see how it will change. Always make sure that you have your fade tool click zones. But yeah, all right. So I cut this out. Now on to part 2 of building tracks with loops. Now that I have this up, right? Hold on. Let me adjust this light so you can see my face. Got it. Boom. All right. So now that I have my overall chill sound, let's do a little bit of deconstructing. All right. Let's start with the bass. All right. So all I did is I hit S for a solo. So Logic has this really cool thing, right? It's called, if you go into multi-effects and you go into, you can do whatever you want. Anyways, you always want the bass and the kick in mono. So instead of having to use a utility tool, like if you go down here, you go to gain, stereo, and then you hit mono. Now it's in mono. But you also can just do it this way. Where it says in out or in 1-2, if you just hit that, now it's in mono. And you do the same thing for the kick. So regardless of what it says right here with the double circles, that indicates that it's stereo. But if you go into the track and you hit mono, then that overrides it. But let's go into what cool little sounds the Beat Breaker does. see. I like that. I like that. That's pretty cool. So now let's open everything back up. And once again, for the exception of loops, there's nothing really crazy that I'm doing. But I do want the vocals, since it's written, I want the vocals to have a little bit more body to it. Let's do reverb, but I'm going to use stock plugins on this. Maybe except for the EQ. You know what? I will do stock plugins because not everyone has FabFilter. Let's just do Chromaverb. Let's go into a preset. Let's go into let's do Empty Hall. That's cool. So now to build a track fast. Once again, Command R. And if you know dance music, you know everything is good. Everything is pretty consistent up until 30 seconds, depending on your method of production. You can, typically it's very copy and paste till 30 seconds up until a minute. That's when the drop comes in. So I just highlighted everything again and hit Command R. So, but here is when I'm going to add in something a little bit different. So let's go back into Loop Cloud, and let's get something to add on top, right? So let's go into get rid of the vocal. Let's go into drums. Let's add in another top. That's cool. All right, so let's go with that one. Once again, when you're building a track, you want to start building energy. You want to start, let's go with this. And once again, Command R, boom, boom, boom. And then at 30 seconds, let's change out of that and go into effects. Ooh, darkness. That's a little bit too dark for me. let's go with that. I am. Let's add a little bit of an acid loop, right? So let's go. Dun, dun, dun. But I don't want the whole loop, right? I only want that part. I don't want the rest of it.